All right, welcome everybody. Are we live? I think we're live.
You know what? Live or Memorex, Eric, it's a win. Bring it.
All right. Do me a favor. Can somebody put in the chat if you could hear me okay? It's weird not seeing everybody on the screen. I just see Jared, Brooke, Randy, Kurt, and Jessica. Somebody give us a thumbs up in the chat or something, just so you could hear us okay.
Remember the real estate agents, a lot of them are just starting to log in.
All right, we're good. Cool. All right. Folks, my name is Eric Orland. Before we kick things off today, we're here to provide value and take you through how to build a revenue share organization. I want to give special thanks to people who have worked really hard as my business partners. I wanted to quickly acknowledge Brooke, who is the boss lady, keeps us all in line and has this thing moving over. Jessica, who's our project manager and takes care of marketing. Two incredible business partners in Kurt and Randy. When we merged together with Track Boss, it has been the best partnership I could have ever had expected. Kurt, a dear friend who always gets it done. I also want to convey a special thanks to Jared and Claudia, who have been with me for over a year and a half, putting up with my constant BS and just have really remained loyal and stayed in the game. And of course, all of you, I really appreciate the time and effort. So I want to start off with a lot that we want to convey to you. There's a lot of value that we want to provide to you today. I want to talk for a moment about building out a revenue share organization. And having a blueprint, what I call a blueprint or a plan of action in place. I'm going to say an old adage. None of us plan on failing. What do we fail to do? None of us plan to fail. We fail to plan, right? So we're going to talk today about having a plan in place that allows you to build a comprehensive organization. Attracting should be easy for most of us. Should be really easy. When I say easy, why is it easy? Why should it be easy? EXP is the first cloud-based brokerage, publicly traded and profitable. That's important. So first cloud-based brokerage, publicly traded, profitable, first mover advantage with dominant, and I mean dominant market share, over 90,000 agents. Do you realize our closest competitor in the space has 20,000? So this is something that is simple to share and attract to, right? So I wanted to converse about that first of all. So I'm going to talk about three important metrics to have in place in order to properly scale your business. The first thing I want to talk about is mindset. I believe that mindset, and Randy and Kurt, feel free to jump in. If you don't have a significant mindset, if your mindset is not in the right place, it's almost impossible to build this. You have to treat building a revenue share organization as a profession, absolutely not as a hobby. It must be a profession. Remember, if you want to achieve something, you got to have a desire. And I'm talking a burning desire to get it done, number one. Number two, you have to have a sense of faith it's going to happen. And three, you have to have a plan in place that you could execute on. So you need to treat this as a profession, absolutely not as a hobby. You need to be really clear. What goals do you have? What is it that you want to accomplish? And remember, folks, it's as easy to aim high as it is low. When I started this journey, I still carry around my goals in my wallet today. It's having an organization of 10,000 people, right? I'm at 3,000 in 5 years. But you need to really be clear about that. You have to come at from the mindset of being a servant leader. When you're out there sharing EXP with other agents and trying to attract, you're not EXPing them to death. You're not vomiting all over them. What you're doing is you're acting as a servant leader and understanding how to ask the right questions in place. You're also focused on building a database. I believe the size and strength of your database will ultimately dictate the size and strength of your attraction business, your revenue share organization. Really important. How do I work my database? So it's important to me that my database is never convoluted. When I put somebody into my database, I've got to believe that they are EXP curious and receptive to joining my organization. There are three bogeys that somebody needs to meet in order to put them in my database. Why is this important? Because when somebody goes into my database, I'm going to spend time, effort, Randy, and utilize the resources in an effort to move that relationship forward. So every relationship, right, is about give and take. I want to ensure that before I put somebody into my database, they warrant being there. They have to do three important things. When I reach out to a prospect who I want to bring into my organization, they have to, number one, convey to me that they're open-minded. They're open-minded to looking at the EXP platform. Number two, they have committed to watching the videos. They've committed to watching the videos. And number three, they have agreed to have a follow-up appointment with me so we can ascertain whether it makes sense or not whether or not EXP makes sense to them and it resonates, if it aligns with the direction they ultimately want to take their business. I view my database as the key to my business, having a strong database. So my focus is not how many people did I bring into my organization today or tomorrow or the next day. Let's be honest with each other. We know a month or 2 months ahead of time, right, Brooke, when someone's going to join our organization. We know it well in advance. Watch how I run my business. My focus is to reach out to people for 60 or 90 minutes a day. 60 or 90 minutes a day, where I am reaching out to people, being a servant leader, and identifying 3 people a day that are receptive, that are EXP curious and receptive to joining my group. Now watch, if I add 3 people to my database a day and I work 5 days a week, I am now putting 15 new prospects into my database. Think about that. At the end of a month, Brooke, I now have 60 people in my database. You ready? At the end of a year, I have over 700 people in my database. Folks, you now have a multi-$100,000 business. It simply requires us to take action and build out a database and have people in that database that absolutely make sense. This is not hard. The question is why? Why aren't more people doing this? Why are more people not reaching out? Only 12% of the people at EXP are participating in revenue share. I'm of the belief, and I'd love your feedback, panelists. I'm of the belief that most people don't do revenue share because they don't want to feel ashamed or embarrassed. They don't know how to comfortably and confidently approach another person and ask them the right questions, not EXP them to death, but ask them the right questions. So, number one that I just covered with you is mindset. Number 2 is honing your skills. And we're going to try to dummy this down because I don't think that being great at building an organization, you have to be great at explaining all of the features and benefits of EXP. I think what you need to really do effectively is be good at inviting. So I'm going to go from basic tools and systems with you, how to build out a organization. Number 1, we agreed you have to approach somebody with a high level of comfortability and confidence. If you're not comfortable and confident, how do you expect the person who you're engaging with to be comfortable and confident? So you have to know how to approach somebody. And we ask somebody what's called the open-minded question, right? What I want you to ask somebody is, are you open-minded? And it goes something like this. Brooke, I'm using Brooke as an example. Brooke, would you be open-minded? And you must use the word open-minded. Why? Because nobody's going to say to you, hey, I'm closed-minded, I'm ignorant. We as human beings don't talk like that, right? So Brooke, would you be open-minded to exploring a brokerage platform that may allow you to keep more of your hard-earned commissions and maybe, Brooke, aligns with the long-term direction you'd like to take your real estate business by offering you multiple other streams of income, one of which is a passive income stream? Is this something you might find compelling? And would you be simply open to exploring this together? Once I get an affirmation and Brooke says yes, she has now indicated she's open-minded. Now watch. Brooke, I'm not asking you for any commitment today. The only commitment I will ask is the following. I'm going to take the liberty of sending you out 2 short videos. One of them is basically 10 minutes. You can almost watch it while you're brushing your teeth. These videos will provide you a great overview why EXP is the fastest growing real estate company on the planet and how this amazing platform may assist you in building out your real estate business. Brooke will also allow you to formulate any questions you might have for me when I follow up with you. Will you be able to watch these videos in the next 24 to 48 hours? Once Brooke has affirmed, she has now done what? She's indicated she's open-minded, committed to watching the videos, and has a follow-up appointment. I'm now willing to put her in my database. So you must be able to understand how to ask that open-minded question. Right? Don't sell EXP. Simply identify an audience. Number 2, is a rating call. That's the follow-up call that I just talked about, right? And that call wraps up, for the sake of time, I'm not going to get into that in great detail, but you're going to start that call with what we call a positive assumptive close. Brooke, was that not the most incredible brokerage platform you've ever seen? Have you ever identified a brokerage platform that provides you that level of coaching, training, support, and technology to ensure that you're the best professional version of yourself, and also makes available multiple streams of income, providing for you and the family a level of financial stability or security that's never existed previously before for realtors? That is going to be a rating call. So you're going to know the open-minded call, the rating call. Now, I want to be clear about this. Objection handling. Curt's going to talk a lot about this today. An objection is a pathway to a sale. Folks, you're going to hear the same 8 objections over and over and over. Come on. Common sense would dictate, right? Definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you know you're going to be hearing an objection, why not perfect how to respond to that person, right? So you could ultimately bring them into your organization, okay? So you're going to focus on the 8 main objections: open-minded script, rating call, objections, and the last thing, and I want you to have, and Randy's going to dive into this more when he talks about EXP, you need to understand the 5 main features and benefits of EXP. And I'm going to do this really, really quickly, right? 5 features, 5 benefits. First feature, EXP now has the #1 and #2 top producing realtor in more than 50% of the states. Feature, every time I lay down a feature, I'm going to lay down a benefit. Benefit, you are now surrounded by the top real estate agents that are out there, pushing you, promoting you to be the best professional version of yourself. #2, you ready? Are you aware that EXP provides 9 different lead generating mechanisms? Feature, benefit, ensuring that you're getting buyer and seller leads to skyrocket your level of volume. #3, are you aware that EXP has a cap in place of only $16,000? Benefit, giving you the opportunity to keep more of what's rightfully yours, your hard-earned commissions. #4, were you aware that at EXP, we being a publicly traded company, being a publicly traded company, you are given what's called the stock grant. This is a gift or reward when you hit simple production milestones. Benefit, you now have an ownership in the brokerage firm that you're participating with, that you're working at. You have a free income stream providing you and the family an extra layer of financial stability. #5, were you aware that EXP last year gave out $197 million in sharing their revenues and revenue share, right? Feature, benefit, providing for you the great fortune of being able to have a passive and residual income and get paid like a broker without having any of the financial responsibilities, liability, or managerial responsibilities of being a broker. Is that not simply amazing? If you will follow these 4 basic tools that I've just reviewed with you, I promise you will absolutely have the results that you want, need, and quite frankly, deserve. And the last thing is having a system in place. If you do not have a system that's reliable, that's comprehensive, that is easy to implement and time tested, it's like shooting yourself in the foot, right? We have at EXP, Brooke, if you could pull this up, we have weekly meetings that go on throughout the entire course of the week, educating you, teaching you, taking you on tech tours. When you have a client that wants to learn more about EXP, taking them on tech tours. Randy, Curt, and I do the model explained each and every week. So you do not have to do this. You simply have to be good again at inviting, prospecting, and role playing with myself and Andy and Randy and all of the Attract Boss coaches. I promise you, Randy Byrd is one of the best coaches I have ever worked with. His team is outstanding. Listen to us make calls and watch how we position this. We will make calls with you and give you insight how to absolutely take your business to the next level. And then we do 2 Q&A calls. So each and every week, we're giving you multiple calls. We're not leaving you out there on an island. We also focus on providing you a flow chart so you can run a disciplined business. The Attractify flow chart is simply a 10-point system When we take action with an individual, with a prospect that we want to bring into our organization, when we take action, how they respond to us will determine the next course of action that needs to be taken. We provide all of this and a host of other tools, whether it's scripts for brokers, agents, objection handling tools, our templates, our communication templates, which are for texting and email, drip campaigns, automations, notifications, are all in place for you to absolutely take care of and to skyrocket your business. We are launching Attractify in January. What is Attractify? It's everything I just discussed that has AI and automations attached to it. Imagine the following. Imagine the following. You are sitting down talking to a prospect and engaged in a conversation, and AI is taking notes for you on that entire conversation. So when you follow up with them, and the fortune is in fact in the follow-up, when you follow up with them, you now have a history in place. You have an understanding in place of what is important to that person. Who is that person? So it's something that is right there in place for you. AI will then go in and determine if that prospect is a hot, warm, or cold prospect. And that will initiate a drip campaign. It will also send out a text 30 minutes to your follow-up appointment. This is essentially a one-touch system that keeps you engaged, clear about what is the next course of action to take, and providing for you the most effective communication tools that are in the industry. The last thing I want to convey to you, and you'll think this is really cool. I mean, very often when we're talking to a prospect, right, we can get tongue-tired. We don't know how to respond. Your phone is now going to act as a teleprompter for you. Your phone is going to act as a teleprompter. What's going to happen is somebody may give you an objection. And what will happen in your phone, it will pop up for you precisely how to respond to that person. We are super, super excited to share this with you. I have partners here. Like I said, Randy has probably spent more time coaching people at EXP and Attraction than anybody else. Curt and I have massive organizations with almost 3,000. I'm almost at 3,000. I believe my buddy's at 3,500. We know precisely what it takes to help you drive your business in the direction you want to take it. I hope you'll give us the opportunity to work closely with you and make this incredible system available. I really appreciate you all being here today. And any questions you have, I'll be happy to engage you after we're all done. Randy, take it away, bud.
Dude, you're amazing. Eric is so smooth. You know, when I first started tracking with Eric and Attraction Flow, I was just immediately impressed with his live dials. And we'd been doing live dials for about a year and Attract Boss. And we were both basically saying the same message, but to different directions and audiences. And I said, what if we built a fire together, right? What would this look like? And that led into him bringing in his best friends, you know, Curt Shewell and Brooke, and just, we have a team that's really, really special. And then with the adding of AI, this is going to be really something special. And like Eric said, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, I transitioned to agent attraction coaching. I have over 10,000 hours of direct agent attraction coaching. I've taken people from 0 to 100. And I think our record's 187 agents in the first year. And we've got dozens of people that have done very, very well, 40, 50, 60, 100 agents in the first year of this agent attraction effort. What we have are systems and tools and processes that are proven, right? Just like EXP, it's a proven model. It's not it might work. It's not, you know, we're profitable, we're proven. Other companies are not profitable yet. They're not proven. This is the place to be. This is the Uber of the world. And, you know, you're in the right place at the right time. But with that said, there's only a small portion of people taking advantage of agent attraction. And here's why I think it is from a coach's perspective. They think it's easy. They think it translates to real estate. I sold 100 homes. And you're an amazing listing agent. You're an amazing agent, but you get into an agent attraction and you fumble because you don't know what to say to the objections. You don't know how to transition that. You could go in a house and you could close a seller and have them call all the other agents that have appointments after you. You're amazing at that, but you've got to get amazing in this skill set. So, you know, like I said, Eric's very smooth. For us, it's like he said, putting agent action in place. Time blocking your calendar to do this 1.5 to 2 hours a day of prospecting. Brent built a massive organization by putting about 30 frontline agents in his organization in about 5 months. That's what he did, right? And then the rest happened because of that initial process of doing that. He was doing that 3 hours a week on a Friday. They'd go every Friday morning, man after my own heart, and then they would get into agent attraction. And James Stroop was his accountability partner, right? And by the way, that's part of this process with what we're doing in Attractify. You're going to have a partner. You're going to have accountability partners. You're going to have champions rooting for you and your success. You're not going to be doing it alone. So here's what's important to me and why Eric asked me to contribute. And, at the end of the day, the rubber hits the road. You've got to hone your skills. You've got to hone your agent attraction skills. You got to be good at inviting, like Eric said. You've got to focus on mastering attraction. Like Eric said, there's only between 8 and I believe 15 objections you're going to hear in the whole company. Together, see, get. We came up with like about 20, but objections to where you just felt like, I can't wait for them to ask if it's a network marketing company. I can't wait for them to say, I love my broker. I can't wait for them to say, yeah, but I don't want to recruit. I'm not a recruiter. I don't like recruiting. Right? It's when you have that mastered, it's a dream because you're almost waiting for that objection so you can move them past that. And when you hear their voice and the inflection go, oh, I didn't realize that. I wasn't thinking that way. That's what's critical. Like when I hear people say, it's a network marketing thing, you have to recruit to make any money, it's not for me. I go, totally understand, right? Do you accept referral fees? Are you cool if I give you a referral fee? Oh, absolutely. So you're 100% okay with that? Yes. Well, that's how EXP pays revenue share. It's a referral fee, but instead of from the agent, it comes from the company. And you could just see the light bulb go on. They're like, oh, I understand, right? That's the kind of power that is an objection handling. It's not about talking down to them. It's not about saying, Eric, no, you don't understand. Eric, no, that's not what it is. Eric, you're wrong. It's not about that. That's how you lose the conversation. One of the things that's important to me in coaching is the language kind of posture that you're having with people. We teach different pieces. The takeaway, a time to say, you know what, just so you know, I don't think EXP is a good fit for you. But let's talk about your business. Let's move the needle forward in your business because I want to help you. Let's talk about passive wealth. How are you going to create that through buying rentals or whatever your current model is? And you could watch them come full circle back around to say, okay, tell me about this again, because this is starting to make sense for me, right? Here's the thing I want to really impact you with today. This is what's in my heart. And if you listen to Brent Gove, Eric Orland, Curt Shewell, they all have the same flavor of this. They have the same message. We have empathy for people. We want to have empathy for their situation. I love it when somebody loves their broker. I want them to love their broker, but they basically love their landlord. I want them to be an equity holder. I want them to be the mortgage holder. Of course, the landlord's going to love you if you're, not asking for a paint job and you're paying a fair market rate and your rent's always on time. Of course, they're going to love you. But from the other perspective, turn it around to where you become a mortgage holder, an equity owner. That's what the really trigger is for me. And when you start walking people through that saying, yes, of course, you're a renter, rent should be $1,800, you're only paying $1,200. Yes, there's some countertops that need replacing, it needs paint, but you're not going to ask for it because you're getting a smoking deal at this place, right? You're getting a smoking deal. You don't want to go through the efforts of moving, but you're paying somebody else's mortgage. I think that's a fundamental difference of EXP that we've got to have them understand. You can't do it by shaming them and telling them what they're doing is wrong and what they're doing is backwards, right? It's just so important. So let's move into how do we have these conversations? Over 10,000 hours of coaching and agent attraction now. We've really boiled it down to a couple things. I love what Gene Frederick says, Team A, tell me about yourself. You get them opening up about what's going on in their business, and you're doing this needs analysis in a natural way. If you go, Hey, Eric, I'm going to do a needs analysis on your business. So tell me, what's going on in your business? What are the problems? Tell me about the fly in the ointment, right? That sounds great, but you're not going to get the kind of response to when they really know that you care about them. And this needs analysis can be done very organically. We actually have a list that we fill out in AttractBoss. It's kind of like a flow sheet. So when you're on a live call, you're taking their name, their phone number, their email, what's their production, what company they're with, some of the basic things that you can remember about the call. And then there's things to help you move along the way. What are their triggers? What are they great at? What's their weaknesses? The SWOT analysis, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. When we can dive into their business and do that, magic happens. And by the way, most agents in their attraction efforts get, they're excited. I get it. Their enthusiasm's a 12. They don't think they're in a sales posture, but they talk 80% of the time. And the prospect is listening 20% of the time. You've got to flip that script. I had to put something on my camera that said, shut up. And it actually had a little dirty word in the middle. Shut up. Because I realize who I am. I'm excited. I'm like leaning into the camera. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell you this. But the reality is that is not when the magic's happening. When you get them to open up and they start talking about the personal problems and challenges in their personal life, their relationship with money, with their business. By the way, they'll say they love the broker, and 10 minutes later, through this correct needs analysis, they go, it does irritate me when my broker does this all the time. And so by having this needs analysis strategy and kind of system that we teach, and the coaching component of this, tying that together with this Attractify system that's going to have modeling, questions, objection handling, scripts brought up for you. Imagine the power of this when you get these couple tools in place. That's when you're going to become a superstar attractor. And we're talking superstar. We're not talking average. You become a superstar attractor when you start doing this. And then you're building a funnel. Everybody goes into the funnel. One of the things when Eric and I started talking, a system that I use is hot, warm, and cold. Eric's a great follow-up guy. A lot of big builders are just focused on the front end. They're not focused on the funnel side of it, right? Everybody goes into funnel with me, hot, warm, cold. And our system that we've kind of adopted is a hot means they get weekly follow-up at minimum, and it could be every day depending on the scripts and dialogues that are happening in that hot caliber, right? Hot, warm is every 2 weeks, cold is every 30 days, right? So an example of that, if somebody says, hey man, I love my broker. I just moved like 2 months ago. We just put up a billboard on the freeway. I'm not moving anytime soon. That may be a cold follow-up that we want to stay engaged with every month. Sending them a video on that day is maybe not appropriate. We want them to see the model. So like one of the objections I'll have to that, I'll say, you know what, Eric, stay where you're at forever. Honestly, if it's a better fit, and I want you to stay where it's a best fit. We haven't really gone into if it's a good fit for us yet. How about if I become your backup offer? Would you be okay with that? I mean, I literally want to just be your backup offer. If something goes sideways, your broker's, God forbid, sells his business, something happens, I want to be your first backup offer. I want you to set it on the desk and it collect dust. And I hope you never need it. But I want it to be so compelling that you're always looking over at it. Oh, it's all cash. It's 10,000 over asking price. That's the kind of backup offer I want to present to you that EXP can provide you in your business. Would you be okay just treating it like that? Treat it like a backup offer. They go, yeah, I'd be open to that. Awesome. Let's set up a super short 30-minute call. I'll explain the backup offer. I'll give it to you in writing. We'll be able to do these things. Do you see the difference in that language as opposed to not knowing where to go next? Right? It's really, really valuable for you, folks. So I want you to take something away from this little nugget that we're talking about today. Get really, really good at interviewing people and listening 80% of the time, talking 20% of the time. Because here's the couple of things that are going to happen. Number one, they're going to feel amazing about the interview because they got to talk about themselves, and it's hard to get done. In the normal life, it's hard to really connect with people with cell phones and distractions and all these things going on. When you get to truly talk, have listen, empathy, respect. So I really want you to focus on that, is to do it now without an agenda. If you're just waiting to stomp on them as soon as they give you an opportunity, as soon as they mention, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really getting to know them and understanding that needs analysis, so you can start identifying the triggers, the things that are important to them. And we do those through a series of questions. We do it through a series of practice. We do role playing, objection handling every single day, 4 days a week, so you can get really proficient at this. But imagine being able to ask questions. And again, you're building know, like, and trust along the way, right? Whether it's a cold call or an agent you did a deal with, you still have to build some equity into that relationship. I look at it like this. You can't ask for a withdrawal from them until you've deposited into that equity bank account. Now, a lot of people can. You could lead with EXP. I'm not saying you cannot, right? And Eric and I had some strong dialogue about this in the very beginning. It's okay to properly, and Eric does it better than anybody. I'm just telling you, I'm not just blowing sunshine. He does it better than anybody I've heard. You can get to that conversation very quickly, but you got to build a little equity in that. One of the ways you could do it is edifying your story without bragging about yourself. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. We did a 3-day mastermind with 25 leaders over the last couple of days. And one of the components I taught was the difference between the hero and the guide. You want them to be the hero in the story and you the guide. As soon as you start, even through edification, as soon as you start becoming the hero, you both can't be the hero at the same time. So you take the hero away from them. It'd be the equivalent of this, them saying, oh, I do 50 deals a year and I have a really smooth operating team. That's nothing. We do 100 deals a year. What just happened in that little tiny statement? You remove them from being the hero and you put them second. A lot of people think that that's common ground. A lot of people think that that's, well, you're doing 50, I'm doing 100. I'm just bridging the gap that we're kind of the same, right? It's not. When you move into that language, you're moving them away from being the hero of the story and you're moving out of being the guide into the hero's role. So I want to just have you think about this for a minute. In the needs analysis, in this really getting to know them, really take the time to let them be heard. Because if they're heard, they're going to know and like you, and they're going to begin to trust you. When they trust you, you have equity in that account, and you can ask for withdrawal. I've done it in 5 minutes live, and sometimes it takes 3 or 4 calls. Right? So imagine that point that you go, hey, Curt, man, I've really enjoyed the 15 minutes we've had together. And man, I think I know your story really, really well. Curt, it might be a little early and forgive me, but do you have trust in me that in our conversation today, do you trust that I'm going to be saying things in your best interest? And if he goes, yes, then I've built enough equity to ask the question. Curt, I want to show you something. I want to do it with respect. I want to do it with dignity, but I want you to see something that I don't think you've seen before. Yes, you've seen EXP. Yes, you've heard about EXP. I don't think you've seen it this way. And the worst possible thing that can happen is you show them the exact thing they have seen, and they go, this is exactly what I've seen. I thought you had something special. Oh, my bad. I did not know you've seen it like this, right? So as we move through this kind of mindset that Eric talked about, imagine yourself for a minute. Just imagine yourself being as smooth as Eric, as smooth as Curt, smooth as Brent Gove, and having that scripts and objection handling down where you feel absolute confidence in your communication and caring about others. And now couple that with technology, couple that with all of our experience we're putting into these scripts and dialogues and reminders and autoresponders and all the things that are coming. I had my 8-year anniversary in EXP on November 1st, just a couple of weeks ago. I've not been more excited about this opportunity. I'm absolutely blessed that Eric asked me to join forces in this venture to help others. We have 1,000 people in Attractify already in weeks, just a couple weeks in our workplace group. Thousands and thousands more to come. But listen, if we're going to go from 90,000 to 180,000 to 250,000, we've got to get on the same page, not only in Attractify, but as a company. We've got to get on the same page as a company. Our company is aligned with this. Our company is valued in this mission. The alphas and betas and leaders of this company are all aligned. All ships rise with a rising tide, right? All ships rise with a rising tide. Helps our stock. It helps our identity. It helps our messaging. Helps our branding. It helps everything. And so when you leave this today, remember that slide that he talked about, the 5 features and the benefits. Get that down. Get into our groups and really internalize the 8 to 12 objections that you're going to get on a regular basis. They could sound like you. They don't have to sound like me. The common misconception of scripts is like, oh, that doesn't sound like me. No shit. Excuse my language. It's not meant to sound like you. It's meant to sound like me now. It's meant to sound like Eric now. It's meant to sound like Curt now, until you get it down. Once you get it down, then you could tweak it to make it sound like Sally or Bill or Judy. But don't try to make it sound like you in the beginning. You've not done the script. You've not understood that, right? So that's why people go, I hate scripts. It doesn't sound like me. It's meant not to. It absolutely is not meant to in the beginning. But then when you get that down, you start using your own language and your flavor and your accent and your style and your emotions. Then it becomes your script. And that's when magic really starts happening. All right. So as I wrap up, I want to do this. I want to challenge you, right? I'm a coach, for God's sakes. This is what it's all about. I want to challenge you to get uncomfortable. I want 10x. I want you to challenge yourself to 10x your beliefs, 10x your actions, 10x your people that you're around, right? And move into a place through this community where we're going to help you reach some dreams. And I want to leave you with a little math. Gene Frederick did the napkin presentation live for us a couple of days ago on his yacht. It was amazing. Did it with the new numbers, and we're going to have all that for everybody very soon. But think about this. $1 million in the bank at 4% is what? Quick math, it's $40,000 a year of return. $1 million, 4%, $40,000 annual return. That equals $3,337 a month. I can't live on that. I used to think, man, I'm going to have $1 million in the bank someday. That is not enough money to live on, right? We want you to think bigger than that. There's stories after stories after stories of people making $2, $3, $5, $7, $10, $20, $30, $50,000 a month. That's not an income claim. That's proof positive. We want you to think that way. Think the math. The math doesn't lie in EXP. And when you could start explaining the math to people and having them understand that they could do all these things over here and try and save money, or they could do these things, earning equity and rev share and freedom, geographical, time, and financial along the way, it's magical. All right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you allowing me to talk today. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Curt, and the Attractify team. So blessed to be part of this. And all I got to say is, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Love it. Love it. Coach Randy Byrd doing what he does best, guys. Hopefully you guys got a whole lot of notes out of that. I don't know if you saw me. I was writing some stuff down. This guy, every single time I talk to him, and I get to talk to him a lot, I can't stop writing stuff down. This is how you learn. If you're learning anything, I'm going to hand you some stuff that you're going to walk out here today that you literally, I'm going to actually have us, we're going to send this to you, okay? I'm going to literally give you, right? We've collectively been working together for months and months and months to put all this together for you guys, to help you guys. This is all free. F-R-E-E, free. This is us giving to you because we want to build this company to a size that nobody's ever even could imagine that it even works. So my camera was falling there. Sorry about that. So here's where we are, guys. This is the deal. We're going to hand these to you. Literally the top objections that we get all the time. Why? Because it's the same. And if any of you have seen me, you know I'm this crazy guy that goes on stage and I challenge the entire audience. I'll give you $1,000 cash money if you can give me an objection that I cannot handle. Because there is no such thing. They're all the same. They're all the same. At the end of the day, they're the same. So here's what I did. We wrote down, right? I said, Eric is much more eloquent than I am. And it's probably because he's a lot smarter than me. So, which is great. And then Randy's got a way of putting things out. So we've got you already covered with Eric giving you, this is how you reach out. And this is how you start conversations, right? We have scripts for this stuff. We'll teach you this stuff. Guys, We do this all the time. It's absolutely free. You can join us to do this. We've teamed up with Attractify. Why? Because then they can take over the follow-up. You know why? Because we all suck at follow-up. That is the, right? We always hear the fortunes in the follow-up. That's the FU part. And we always know it's always looking back at us, not going there. However, the truth is this is what happens. So if you could have an AI tool doing follow-up for you, you could have a team like Jared and Jessica and Brooke doing follow-up for you. How cool would that be? That makes me happy. I go, I'm in, sign me up. I was in from day one when they said that. I said, just show me a tool that'll do that for me, because that's the part I really, really, really suck at. You know what we're great at? We're great at talking to people. Attracting agents is no different than working with FSBOs. Some of you are horrible at FSBOs. No kidding. This is why we have scripts. This is why we'll give you the questions to ask them. Eric taught you all the path of how do we engage with them? How do we get them to meet? Then Coach Randy Byrd said, here's what we want to talk about, and here's how we engage them to get them through empathy, right? I wrote a book with Chris Voss, right? So when I wrote that book with Chris Voss, right? It's empathetic leadership. What we're trying to do is teach you how to be empathetic leaders to your clients. Guess who your client is today? It's another agent. You're helping other agents. Could you imagine somebody's going to pay you to do what? Help somebody first. No way. Shut up. No, that's what this is. This whole thing is a design for us to help somebody first. And if we only do a really, really good job of helping you, you'll get paid. If you get paid, the company gets paid. And if the company gets paid because you got paid because we helped you make a bunch of money, the company shares it with us. That's what sharing revenue is all about. People get all messed up, right? How many of you guys have heard that objection? Oh, you're that pyramid company. Everybody knows that's my favorite one. I'm like, really? No way. You work for Keller Williams, you work for Remax, you work for Caldwell Century, Sotheby's, Berkshire. I don't care. Pick any franchise you want. You're actually in a pyramid. But the coolest part is your pyramid company didn't even allow you to be in the pyramid. You get to watch from the pyramid from the outside, and you get to pay the pyramid all the money. How cool is that? Somebody was thinking there, right? Coldwell Banker started that in 1906. Yep, they did. 1906, they created the first franchise brokerage. Yeah, and everybody followed it ever since. Well, today, technology's changed it all. Attractify is about technology. I want to put this together for you guys. Here's 8 of the top objections we hear all the time. Let me just bang these off for you really quick, right? So number 1, this is the number 1. Well, I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm going to go deep in this. I'm going to actually role play this with you guys. I'm going to lay this out for you. I'm going to give you exactly what scripts, and then we're going to give these to you at the end. Yep, we're going to give them to you at the end just for spending your time with us. So that's the number 1 one we get. I'm going to go through that in just a second for you. The other one we get, like, well, I need an office. And then we get the, hey, there are still people out there, believe it or not. I've never even heard of EXP. I don't know anything really about them. Love those. I'm happy, and I'm really loyal to my broker. You know that one, right? I need to spend time and really think about it, and the timing's just not right for me. You know that one. I'll watch the video if you want me to, but we don't need to set up any follow-up appointments, and I'll call you if I'm interested. And then you get the, after someone has already shown or expressed an interest in the EXP platform, you kind of had a conversation with you, and you've talked to them a little bit, then they ghost you. What do we do? I'm going to go through that one with you too, because that happens a lot. But the truth is, here's the second one I get all the time, right? When you're speaking to somebody, you immediately say, I'm not interested. I've already looked at EXP. I know all about it. I've heard all about it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not interested. So you guys getting those? Good. Let's take on those 3. Those 3 are the 3 that seem to give everybody the biggest fits. You know what that is? That's the FSBO who says, bring me a buyer. And then he says, I'm not listing my house. I'm selling by myself because you take all my money. You only want commissions. That's what they're saying. That's what these objections are. They're that simple. I'm going to frame it for you in a really simple way. Eric, who's more eloquent, wrote these out in a way that me and Randy and him all speak, because we all say the same thing. It's kind of what Randy was trying to teach you, right? Consistency, continuity. If you listen to how he talks to people, how Eric talks to people, how I talk to people, we say the same thing, but it sounds very different, yet it's the exact same thing. And I mean exactly. So we wrote it down. We had Eric write them because he writes better, right? Much more educated. So I'm going to read to you verbatim exactly how these sound, because they're freaking fantastic. And again, the only thing you change is your tonality. Then I'm going to give you a second spin and a third spin on the exact same one, saying the exact same thing. So you're going to watch me, because not every one of us is the same flavor. Not everybody gets hyped up like Curt, and Curt comes in like, oh my God, bullet and try to let's go. This is so exciting. I bring excitement to the table. If you have that personality type like me, then you bring that excitement to the table. They're going to feel it. The empathy is genuine, because they genuinely see, this guy's a nut. This guy loves this crap. Holy smokes. There's got to be something there. Nobody's that excited without something being there. So guess what I am? Always excited. Somebody asked me, how you doing? What's my answer? I'm outstanding. I'm so good, it's probably illegal. I'm so good, they should probably put me in jail. It's probably, oh my God. I say these things. If you've met me, you've heard me say it. Why? Because that's how I feel every single day, because we are truly blessed, right? You've heard Eric say it. You've heard Randy say it. We are. We're so blessed. It's unbelievable. So let's dive right into these for you guys. Take these with you right now. This is for you. Here's our gifts, right? So first thing you got to understand is when you have an objection, you isolate the objection. Simple sales, right? Bizbo, what do? I'm trying to say this, I don't want to pay commissions. Oh, no kidding. Wow, that's the first time I've heard that. Guys, it's simple, right? We know this. So we're already ready for that one, right? So what's the answer, right? We clarify. So we clarify the concerns of the prospect by stating back to them what they said. Remember, anything that they say can and will be used against them in the court of closing. We will close them with their words, not your words, every single time. And you know what? It comes off authentic, genuine, and empathetic. Like, I get you, I hear you. Randy was giving you the science behind this, and it's so powerful if you understand the concept of empathy. All I want to get them to do it. So I call it a pivot. First, you're standing off, right? You're facing off against them. It's you against them, and all we got to do is start turning and pivot. Think about it. Envision they're on that side of the fence, you're on this side. They're in their yard, and you got to get in their yard. Well, I can't touch the fence. It's lava. Remember you're a kid? Can't touch it. It's lava. Can't touch it. They got to open it for you. Well, how do I get them to open it? I pivot. I start asking them things that matter to who? To them. You know what I don't tell them? I don't tell them my Johnny plays soccer too. And oh my God, I love cats and I'm a kitty person. Oh my God, it's so great. I don't tell them that garbage. You know why? There's no value in it. And I'll get agents who will tell me, well, Curt, I'm building rapport. No, you're not. You're wasting their time. Yours too, but we're not even going there. It's about them, right? So I want to ask them things that will show value. We talk about people know, like, and trust. You got to know, they got to know you, they got to like you, they got to trust you. I'm going to debunk that for you really quick. It's really simple. Randy will destroy that one. Here's the truth, guys. They don't really ever get to know you. They don't need to know me. You know what? I want to be their best friend after we close. When we kiss babies and hand out keys, I want to be their best friend. When they join our company, I will become their best damn friend. They will not have a better business partner than me because I'm going to make damn sure that they know that and they feel that way. And that's your job. Think of it from that perspective. The second thing is, do I really need them to know me? No, they don't really know. I'm not inviting them to my house, right? They're not doing sleepovers. They don't really know me. They don't know anything about me. They know what I show them. They know what they see, and they judge you, and don't think that they're not, okay? Second thing is like you. It's not about liking me. It's making sure that they don't dislike me, because if they don't like you, you got a problem. They're never joining you. People join people. They don't join companies. Get that out of your head. They're not joining EXP. They're joining you. You're the one. You're the ambassador of EXP. Be that ambassador. Help them out through this. And then the third piece is, know, like, and trust. The trust is everything. That's what matters. The other two don't. Make sure they don't dislike you. They don't have to be in love with you, right? Hell, they don't really even know you. They met you. That's all they know. The truth is they got to trust that you are the best solution for them to give them what they want. You are the conduit to success beyond belief for them. That's what you have to be. That's the value play, the trust. And they trust you when you bring empathy to the table. So with that said, let's get back to this. So now when I repeat back to them their objection, I've isolated and we crush it. So in the next 10 minutes or less, watch this. Ready? Here's our first one, right? Make it really simple. I'm happy where I'm at. Yep. We wrote it down for you to read off a piece of paper. If you were on the phone with them, you could literally do this. You ready? This is going to be so hard. Like Randy said, whoa, learning a script. Holy smokes, right, Randy? Nobody can do that. Eric, who could ever do that? How about this? Well, wouldn't you agree that most people feel the same way, or at least not stay with their employee broker if they did? Well, based on the fact that you are happy, and I assume that you haven't spent any time researching what's really being offered out there in the marketplace and assisting your business to get you that next level? Can you be in any different position to compare and contrast what you're being provided right now with the current broker versus what we have at EXP? Well, the fastest growing real estate company organization of all time, what they've got to offer, you might want to take a look at, might be worth our time. Well, aren't you kind of in a can't lose situation? So wouldn't you commit to at least watching, how about this, a couple of short videos that you can confirm and make sure that you're affiliated with the best broker that best aligns with you and your career and your income earning goals. I read that off a piece of paper. I just got to put punctuation, slow down, pause, stress on the right words. Guys, it's all eloquent, sounds very educated and everything. I'm going to give you another way to say that. Well, look at one, you probably want to know, are you happy where you're at? If you weren't, you'd probably already be with us. I mean, that's what we tend to find. So a lot of the best agents that I work with all said the same thing to me. So I love that you said that question. Repeat it back to them. Make them feel what they said was smart. Make them feel what they said was right. They don't want to be happy. They want to be right. You're going to take them to Happy Land. You're going to take them to Disney. Here they go for the ride. You just had to get them in the cart, right? Can't go on that roller coaster until you get them in the cart. So here's what we're going to do. Then we're going to ask them, wouldn't you really want to see what the other side's doing? You're happy where you're at. How long did you say you've been there? Use their words against them. Oh shit, you said you've been there for 7 years. Oh my God, that's amazing. You never hear the 7-year itch? Oh my God, it's kind of funny, right? Yeah. What happens is you start looking around, you find out, oh my God, technology keeps changing. Can we agree on that one? Get them to agree. They can't argue that. Zillow's our biggest monster. They're their enemy of a common enemy. I'm opening that gate. Remember the pivot? Now they're opening their gate a little bit. Yeah, we have a common enemy. Yeah, we do. Here, why don't you open that up? Let me step inside. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me help you. Let me get you where you want to be. Let's see if we're aligned. Let's see if we have the same problems. Oh my God, everybody I talk to who's really successful in this business has the same questions you have. You must be a really smart agent. Guys, I just said the same thing that Eric wrote down here. I just said it another way. All I'm doing is asking them the same questions. You tell them nothing. You ask them everything. If you can be effective at asking questions, you will win every single time. The reason you lose arguments is because you want to tell them. Don't tell them anything. Ask them everything. Isn't this how you really feel? Yes. Is that how you really think about it? Is that what you saw? Did you see it from this position? Oh, have you not seen this? Did you see it that way? Ah, you didn't see it this way. Oh, if you saw it that way, would that be different? Live in the hypothetical. The hypothetical wins every time. There's no way to lose. We'll teach you these skills, guys. This is what we do. This is why we've had a lot of success doing it. So if I ask that same question, well, if you're not a can't lose situation, let's just take a peek. So at least you stay where you're at. Randy gave you a phenomenal line when he said, it's probably not the right fit for you or the right time. Let's leave you where you're at. Let's not change brokerages, but let's take a peek so you can see under the hood of what this engine looks like, because holy smokes, there is nothing like it. That's why it's different. I know it sounds weird because every pyramid company, oh yeah, those are the brokerages that are franchised. Yeah, they're all pyramids, right? This isn't a pyramid. I thought it was too. I didn't know. I thought I was just like the rest. Then I found out how different it was. It was like, holy smokes. That's what they need to see. Ask them, if I could show you that, is that something you'd want to see? Would you at least want to know a little more about it? That's how you set your appointments. This is how you get them to look at this thing. That's how you overcome the, I'm happy where I'm at. Great. Stay put. I promise. I will not ask you to leave because you won't. You know what they'll say to you at the end if you did it really, really well? What's the next step? It's your favorite line on the planet. And that tells you, guess what we're doing? Go to the next step. So let's go to the next ones that are really tough. I told you 10 minutes left. I've got 6.5 minutes. So here you go. Ready? So after someone you've already shown them, you talked to them. Kurt, I went over there. I probably EXP'd all over him. It was horrible. Yeah, I had a bad experience. It was so bad. Oh my God, I screwed up. Now they're ghosting me, right? Everybody's had that happen. If you've had any agent attraction at all, if you've ever done any of this stuff, that's what you're running into. So here's the next piece. So here's a very simple little response. Well, I very much like the opportunity to reconnect so I can understand how we bet. Now you guys can call them and leave this message. You can text them in this message. You can do it any way you want, right? I pick up the phone and just say, hey, thanks for taking my call, Eric. I really appreciate it. I'd very much like the opportunity to reconnect so we can understand how we can best be of service. I'd like to have a basic understanding if EXP is still on your radar, and in any circumstance that may have impacted your decision, please let me know. As someone who's been very much enjoyed our dialogue, would you be receptive to just another short conversation? I appreciate your understanding. I look forward to us reconnecting. You can leave the message that way. You can call them on the phone and ask them that thing. You can send it to them in a text. You can send it to them in a video text, which I recommend highly if you don't get them. Okay. Now, let's say this another way. Hey, it was really great meeting you. I'm all about empathy. Stroke them and get them where you want them to be. Randy, God, I love talking to you a couple of weeks back. I know we haven't been able to reconnect. I'm sorry. It's probably my fault because I am so stupid busy. I'm talking to agents all the time, and it's just been a lot of fun. So I apologize if I haven't got back to you sooner. I don't want you for 1 second to think you fell off my radar. I really loved our dialogue. I respect you immensely. I wouldn't want to waste your time. So I think what we really need to do is kind of have a follow-up like we talked about. And matter of fact, and if you haven't done a three-way to start with, this is where you better introduce that. I've been talking about you to some of the biggest people in my company, and I've got these regional director people that are like insane. And they had asked me, wow, did I ask you a few questions? And I feel so embarrassed to tell you, I forgot to ask a couple of things because I was so excited. They wanted to talk to you a little bit more about what a transition could, would, and possibly look like. If you'd still be open to us just having that secondary follow-up call. So if we could set that up, I'd really like the opportunity to do so. It's the same thing he just said. It's the same thing it's written down, just a different way, right? Do it the way you feel comfortable doing. I'm asking them for the same thing, saying the exact same things that are in here. This is the script. In Hollywood, they give you the script, you read the script. If you flip a word backwards, forward, whichever way, they'll let you get away with that a little bit. That's fine. You stick to the script. This is the script. Ask these questions. Ask them whichever way you need to ask them, whatever way your tonality works. Get them psyched up. You can do like me where you're rising at the end, like, oh my God, I think this is for you. You can do that. Or you can do it the other way, like, Eric, oh my God, I don't know, but I think this is for you. And take it up. I can bring it down. Pull them in if I want to suck them in, or if I want to blow them up. You end it with your own tonality in the voices. This is what we do. Randy Byrd coaches this to everybody. It's like insane. It's like stupid. So I go to his stuff to learn how to do this stuff. So it's pretty cool. Now, the last piece, guys, the last one I'll go over with you real quick, give you a couple ways to do this last one. When you go through the last one, it's I've already been speaking today. I'm not interested. I'd already looked at it. I've heard about it. Everybody, their brothers, I'm so sick of you people from BXP calling me. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know nothing about it. We've all had those. Great. Let's go through that one really quick. Really simple. Now, again, Eric put it very eloquently. I'm going to give you a couple other ways that me and Randy would do it. So Eric would say it like this. May I kindly ask what aspects of the EXP platform like a broker, without any of the responsibilities of, being the broker? Which of these did you not find compelling? So he's putting it out there, which a quick one-line pitch of the top 5 things that EXP offers, and asks, which one did you not like? Which one wasn't compelling? Because he uses big words. Like, which one was not compelling, right? It's like Grey Poupon, right? He's making them feel good about it, making them feel incredibly smart by their decision, but he's asking, well, which one was it that you didn't like? Which did you not find interesting? It's a phenomenal way of putting it, right? I teach and coach people on no is your friend. I want no as their answer. So I'm going to give you to the same thing he just said right there. I'm just going to give it to you in the form of a question where no is the answer that you want, because they want to tell you no. He's already said, no, I'm not interested. Leave me alone. Guys got to stop calling me. I would love to stop calling you. I just wanted to check really quick where you're at right now. How much ownership did you say you had? Or is it you don't get it? Oh, shoot, I forgot. You're over at Coldwell. Yeah, you don't get any, do you? What's their answer? No. Oh, okay. Was it the part where the actual leads? We have 9 lead generation system tools you get for free when you work here. 7 of them that cost no money at all to boost them or anything. But probably only what we find with the average agent, it only adds, I don't know, between 1 to 2 deals a month that they close. And I know that's not a lot for a big baller like you, but an extra 12 to 24 deals seems to be a lot for them. But that's not something you would want, right? That's not good for you, right? No. Oh, okay, right. So money's not important to you. Ownership's not important to you. How many shares of ownership did you get? How many homes do you have to sell before they make an owner? You become a part. How does that work for you? These are the things I say. It's the same thing Eric wrote down here, which you can say it very nice and eloquently. Or I like to get in their face a little bit. Kind of Randy likes to massage them a little bit and kind of smack them this way and smack them that way. I want them to feel like they're in that roller coaster, like, holy shit, this is where you get flipped around. And that's what I want to do. So this is the part you didn't like, where you could actually have ownership, because where you're at, you can get how many, yeah, you can't, right? Yeah, I forgot. You don't have that, do you? Yeah, no. Okay, great. So what was it that you were trying to get to? Oh, okay, it's that. So guys, remember, in some of the things, in closing here, I won't take up any more time. What you really have to understand is what Randy was trying to really tell you, and what Eric was giving you the way to get in the door, right? Now we pivoted. Now we're here. Now it's us against the world. We start talking in we. Okay, what we're going to be able to do together, and what I see good for us, and what I see in our future are these things. And I think that we can do really well this way. Guys, tell them, say, listen, if anything, why don't we sit back down and why don't we at least have this conversation? I know you're not interested in it. I'll tell you what, I'll teach you how to grow your business and show you every single thing my company offers us. I'll show it all to you. All I want you to do is tell me the one thing, this is the coolest thing that your company does, and tell me the one thing that if they just did this one thing, you'd stay there forever. That just put it in their head that they won't be there forever because they don't have this. I'll get their pain from them because they're not telling you, because they're guarded. Randy was giving you 18 ways around that. This is another way around that. They're not going to tell you their pain because they feel that it makes them vulnerable. So I want them to trust me because I want that empathy, the trust. The trust is where you get them, guys. Ask them that question and say, great, if I could do this, I'll show you, I promise, every single thing that my company offers me. What does that mean? That means I get to pitch them every single thing our company does. And you got their permission to do it. So these are the ways we ask questions, guys. This is what we do. Know is your friend. So Eric, I'll hand it back to you, my friend. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked all these scripts, please let us know. We'll send every one of you. Just message us in the chats. Jessica, our ops director, she's like a beast. Brooke, she'll work frantically to get these out to every single one of you, and we're happy to do it. So,
Guys, we're going to go a little bit over today, but I wanted to do two things. I wanted to give the floor to Brooke and Jessica so they could give you a quick overview of that about Attractify. It's worth listening to. And then I want to address any of the questions that you posed. So great. And Randy, Curt, thank you. Terrific, both of you. Awesome.
hope everybody got at least one thing out of there from each of us. That's all. If you did, then it was worth your time.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys. That was awesome. Can everybody hear me?
Yep, perfect.
Great. Everyone who is registered on this call will receive the objection handling scripts automatically, so don't worry about that. You don't have to let us know. We will be emailing those out to you, along with some other really useful tools coming up, so we're excited to share them with you. I am going to see if I can share my screen here.
You should be good to go, Jessica. Yeah.
I'm trying to get it to...
While you're working on that, like she said, I know a lot of people in the Q&A are asking for the scripts, so you guys will all be getting those. So you don't have to worry about that.
See that? We even made you do one little thing, and they even said, no, this is Attractify sponsored us. They'll do it for free. They just get it to you. You don't even have to ask. How cool is that? I'm a fan.
Coming to you automatically. Okay, so I'm just going to give you everybody a brief overview of Attractify.ai, what it is, what we're working on building for everyone, because I know that there's been a few questions about, well, what are the AI components? What are we talking about with Attractify? So we're building Attractify.ai as a platform which is going to simplify agent attraction, right? If you've been on a call like this before, which you probably have, or even if this is your first call where you've experienced this, you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, right? So one thing that we want to do with this platform is we want to simplify this by giving you the tools, the strategies, the structure, and the automation that you need in order to implement this, right? So it's building a bridge from information to implementation, enabling and empowering you to take everything that you've learned about agent attraction and everything that you know that you must do and make it so that you can actually do it, right? Which is the key. So this is designed to make agent attraction effortless through advanced AI tools and intuitive user interfaces. So everything that we're creating right now is designed to be really, really simple and user-friendly. So what we want to do is create this platform that's going to take the place of a lot of other tools. Okay, it's going to take the place of an assistant, your calendar, your scheduling tools, your CRM, your follow-ups, your professional development, and much more. Because as you can see, by getting access to Eric, Curt, and Randy, you're getting access to the best of the best when it comes to coaching, and 3 very different styles and tones, but I guarantee that you'll be able to pick and choose what you want from each of them, almost like a buffet of options and styles. So I'm just going to show you a few of the features that Attractify.ai is going to have inside. And these are simulated. So you'll notice a little bit of Latin text if you're paying attention, but that's just because we're not going to give you everything for free just yet. Okay. So right now, what you're going to be experiencing when you are using the platform in real time, the AI components aren't going to take over, right? The robots aren't going to take over. What they are going to do is they're going to act as your assistant in real time. So they're going to be taking notes while you're speaking so that they can help you categorize how interested someone could be, right? So maybe it'll take some of the guesswork out of that for you by categorizing your leads as hot, warm, or cold, which will allow you to focus your efforts effectively and efficiently where they're going to be most impactful. So we're also going to provide you with AI-driven communication tools, which are just like recommendations in real time, right? Oh, hey, this person is saying that they're ready to have a conversation. Great, I'm going to go ahead and suggest times when I know you're available based on your calendar, right? So that you can actually select something during a chat and say, okay, yeah, I'm available today at 2:15, right? And so it'll automatically fill these things in. It just makes it so much easier, right? It offers you smart automations with scheduling, tagging, and follow-ups. It all is it's all designed to give you the right words at the right moment. So everything is super simple, right? Upload your contacts, right? Push a button, upload your contacts, put them into the system, keep them organized. It's also designed to keep all of your communications in one place. So you're never having to look around for people, trying to figure out, oh no, did I message this person last week? Did I forget to follow up? All of that stuff is going to be taken off your plate. You're also going to be able to customize your own experience. And I think that this is really important because some people would love to have their phone act as a teleprompter and give them scripts. And for other people, that sounds like their nightmare in real time, right? That they would just be so distracted and overwhelmed if their phone started popping things up while they were trying to have a conversation. So guess what? You can toggle these things, these features off or on, right? And anytime you're confused, there's going to be systems in the app, and you can be on your phone and on your desktop. These are obviously cell phone mock-ups for the time being, but all of these things are designed to show you what they are and allow you to use them or not to use them. So everything that is being designed in the app is easy to navigate and intuitive. You can tell just by looking at this that it's going to be a one button push. Oh, I want to access my follow-ups? Great. I want to go to my open mind calls? Great. I want to check out my to-do list? Awesome, right? It's all designed to just be really easy to use and not be one more thing to add to your plate. It's all about simplification and ease. All of these things will also be available to you in real time. So if you're having a conversation with someone and you find that you do need objection handling in real time, you're going to be able to access objection handling scripts in real time. Another thing that we've built into this platform that I'm personally really excited about is motivation and also accountability. So every single day, you're going to receive motivational messages that are coming from Eric that are designed to really get you hyped, get you pumped to do this thing, right? Because everybody knows that they ought to be engaged in agent attraction, but just because you know you should, it's kind of like going to the gym every day. It doesn't mean that you actually are going to do so. So what this app is designed to do is give you daily motivation and encouragement. It also provides accountability tools to say like, yes, you're on track. And then it's got some gamification features as well, which are always fun. So there's going to be badges and journeys and things on there that are saying like, good job, you just did this, you're on the right track, right? Things that are really going to keep you motivated and keep you driven towards achieving greater heights in your agent attraction efforts. So just to recap simply, and then we'll go into a Q&A session, the core features are going to be AI-driven automations for communication and follow-ups, right? So it's going to take a lot of that heavy lifting off of you. There's going to be simplified tools for automations, campaigns, and scheduling. There's enhanced instructional design, which means you're still getting access to the learning module systems that exist as they are. So if you are a current Attraction Flow subscriber, you are still going to be able to access the incredibly valuable training that has been pioneered by Eric, that is all of the system itself, right? The education, the tools, the know-how, so that you can go into this and implement everything that he's saying effectively. There's going to be accountability and awareness tools to boost user confidence and performance. So at the end of all of this, Attractify.ai is going to simplify the agent attraction process. It's going to improve your efficiency, and it's going to significantly reduce the fear that is associated with cold outreach. And we can't wait for y'all to experience it. January.
Guys, I want to be respectful of everyone's time, and I know we've been on for a while. Do you want us? I want to address some questions that were in the chat. You guys want to pull that up?
I think I actually am pretty much through them all. I've answered all of them, so
Yeah.
we should be good. Yeah.
Guys,
Was there anything really good?
Go ahead, Curt. You go for it.
I just say, was there anything really good? Something juicy we can learn from?
I see it says 3 hands.
No, just question. Yeah, I've got them all. I'm answering right now. I don't see hands. I see Q&A.
Is there a direct question that anybody would like either Randy, Curt, or I to address head on? Is there anything that you feel compelled to ask regarding the build out of a revenue share organization? We'd love to address that with you.
Yeah, free coaching. You got Randy, he's a stud. You got Eric.
We've got maybe we can do that and sell going to be coming out.
Brooke, I couldn't hear a thing.
Want to
Randy,
talk about cost, the fees, some of those things are in the questions.
I'm not in the Cool Kid Club. I don't see the questions.
I don't see the questions either.
They're in
They're
the
all
open.
on the Q&A. They're kind of coming in fast now, so.
Yeah, there's a bunch coming in. I'll answer a couple to try and help as well. Somebody said, I'm not a very assertive person, have anxiety issues talking to men and otherwise strong personality people. Does the system allow keeping track of my activities compared to others within the program, number of calls, contacts, hot, warm, cold, prospects, etc.? Absolutely. You're going to attract the avatar of the people that you're reaching out to and the people that are attracting to you, right? So I'm going to steamroll potentially somebody that isn't amiable where you might be able to really relate and connect with them. We can coach you into those different personality types and have you step out of your box a little bit, but probably find people that are more aligned with you and your avatar. I think there's a match for everybody. So my answer would be yes, you'd absolutely benefit from conversation of
Asked too, do we track it? The system tracks everything. That's what Jesse was talking about. It's like insane. It tracks all of it. And then what it'll do too is it'll give you guys opportunities. If Attractify is a thing for you, we're all part of it. So it means you're stuck with us. You get us anyway. You can look at it either way. But like Randy's saying, you might get somebody who's like that. Where Randy, he takes on, grizzly bears. That's his favorite thing, right? He goes, goes up to Alaska to take on the Kodiaks. That's what he does. He's just weird that way. So when you get them, you three-way us into that. We'll attract them and close them for you. You don't have to be the one actually presenting. And I think that might have been part of what you're not quite asking exactly that way. Yes, you do the initial work, get that set up. All you're doing is inviting. Remember when Eric was talking about getting invitations and then Randy was talking about how you set those invitations into place? That's what you do. And if you do that, we're going to join you with them. We're going to be the ones that actually present, talk to them. And I promise there is not a person on the planet, if they own a brokerage, if they own a franchise, if they own whatever, if they're a baller agent, if they're a brand new agent, we can talk to them. And one of us is going to be probably pretty good match.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on what Curt said because, I think that to explain EXP, right, takes me about 45 minutes. It's a lot there to hold somebody's attention for 45 minutes. I don't know if I'm frozen. Curt, did I cut you off?
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Sorry, but I think my screen froze. I hope I didn't cut you off, pal.
Good.
It's very hard to share the features and benefits about EXP and do so over a 40-minute presentation. It's something the three of us do particularly well. So I want to come back to, you don't need to feel intimidated by attracting. You simply need to learn a few scripts that you internalize so they come off as being authentic. And think about this. How do you control a conversation? Randy alluded to this several times today. It's by asking appropriate questions, right? So that we're going to give you very, very simple scripts and then do really most of the heavy lifting for you in being able to sell the platform, unlike most of the people at EXP. I believe there are going to be many of you say, Eric, I want to focus on production. I don't want to sponsor agents. It takes up too much time. It doesn't have to be a one or something scenario. If you are selling real estate successfully, you're already communicating with another realtor. There's a conversation that exists because you're either listening to offers or you're making offers. It's a simple add-on to a conversation. Just think about this, right? You're doing a transaction. I'm going to use Curt for an example. Curt, I really enjoyed doing this transaction together. You exhibited a high level of professionalism and came off as a really quality human being. Hey, Curt, how long have you been at KW for right now? Oh, about 7 years. What do you like best about having them as your brokerage partner? And Curt's going to tell you. And the next question is going to be, how to identify his pain points and watch. Curt, if I may ask, what don't you like? What would you do to change or modify about the relationship you have with your existing brokerage partner? They're going to tell you specifically what they don't like. In essence, they're going to give you a roadmap that leads to a pot of gold. What you're going to do is simply throw back those pain points to them. If Curt said to me, for example, Eric, I found it really challenging to get lead flow from my broker. I get no assistance in building my business. Well, Curt, would you be open-minded? I'm back to that open-minded question. Curt, would you be open-minded to exploring a brokerage platform that would provide you that all-important lead flow so you could absolutely skyrocket your business and at the same time allow you the opportunity to keep more of your hard-earned commissions and make available multiple streams of income, providing for you and the family a level of financial stability or security that's never existed previously in the industry? Is this something you might find compelling? And would you be simply open to exploring together? Right, so it doesn't have to be a one or another scenario. If you are effectively selling real estate, there's a wonderful opportunity to scale your business by simply adding on to the conversation a few important questions. I believe that we have been given just an amazing opportunity. 5 years ago, I declared bankruptcy. I lost everything I had to my name. 5 short years ago. On a 64th, I want you to think about this. Let this marinate for a second, because I often pinch myself in the morning when I wake up. I'll wake up in a cold sweat thinking, and am I still broke? In 5 years, 5 years, Randy, on a $64 investment, I built an organization that won't pay me one or two, but will pay me multiples of millions of dollars a year for the rest of my life. And I'm able to take that security, that financial security, not only into my retirement, but I'm able to hand that business off to my one and only son, right? I'm able to hand that business off and leave a legacy on a $64 investment by doing nothing more than being a servant leader and sharing this amazing platform and seeing if I can be of service by doing nothing more than asking somebody for the opportunity to compare and contrast what they're receiving from their existing brokerage partner versus what EXP might be able to provide for them, so they, and they alone, not me, so they can determine if this platform aligns with the direction they want to take their business. And if you have enough of those conversations a day, come at it from a place of being confident and comfortable, you can't help but scale a business. One of the most important things, and Randy highlighted this before, is jumping on these prospecting calls with us. We do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I will promise you, if you jump in these calls and learn a few basic scripts, you put yourself in a position to look back over your shoulder within a 12-month period and go, wow, I cannot believe what I have built. And that more than money, right, Randy? That more than money is more gratifying than anything, because that's something you could always lose your money, right? But the one thing you can never take away is when you've had a level of success, when you've honed your skills, right? And you know that you're building something that's just amazing. That's something that nobody could ever take away from you. I don't want to go on and on. What I want to do is I want to thank each and every one of you. Again, I want to acknowledge Brooke, Jessica, Randy, Curt, Jared, Vonda, who's posing as me, Vonda Kozar, who does our tech tours. I also want to acknowledge 2 other people that have put up with my shenanigans in building this out. One is my significant other, Irene, who has constantly been a steady hand, provided a steady hand in always being supportive and providing lots of love. And always.
You're a stud, Eric, and we appreciate all your work and your effort, brother. That's why we're all here, right? Guys?
My son, who was on today's call, and I always remember that's about, building it for him and remembering that I come at it from a place of love. You all are worthy of having the success that you want, need, and deserve. You are deserving, and what you think about will ultimately manifest itself in your life. So I'm grateful for all of you and all of the love and support. I hope you'll take advantage of this amazing opportunity. Attractify is really spectacular. You have people working their tails off to bring this into the market and helping you build something that you're worthy of having. And look who's calling me. My son.
That's awesome.
He
Thank
can
you,
feel you,
Eric.
brother. He can
Thanks.
feel you. Good
Really
juju.
quick, you guys. I know there's still a couple questions trickling in and we're wrapping up here. If you have any questions about the program or want to get any more information, feel free to reach out to hello@attractify.ai and we can go through any additional questions that you have or even set up some phone calls, okay? So that way, in case anyone missed their question, you still have a way to reach out.
Thanks,
Guys,
Brooke.
thanks for your time.
Thanks, team. I've got to run, but it's been amazing. Hopefully, we'll be able to partner in this journey together. So, take your agent attraction serious and get involved.
Have
Appreciate
some
it.
fun.
Thanks,
Let's
everybody.
have fun.
Bye, guys.
Thanks now.